Does this sound familiar?
In the late 1930s, a bus driver was bringing home a load of kids from a field trip. As he was attempting to cross the railroad tracks, the bus stalled out. As luck would have it, a train was barreling down the tracks at high speed, and the bus wouldn't start or move. There was a horrific crash. The bus was literally torn in two. All of the children were killed instantly. It is said that if you go to those tracks to this day and put your car in neutral, and if you put baby powder on the back of your car will be pushed up and over the tracks to safety. You will see handprints and fingerprints by the ghosts of the children.
This story has been heard all over the United States: San Antonio, Texas, North Carolina, Bartlesville, Salt Lake City, Utah, and multiple locations in Illinois, including the infamous Munger Road. Why is this story so popular? Where did it come from? Are these ghost track children real? That is what we will uncover together.
My name is Dale Kaczmarek. I'm the president of the Ghost Research Society.
My name is Vanessa. I'm a natural born psychic medium.
I'm Chris. I've been in the paranormal field for close to 20 years.
From what I've been able to determine, there's a Munger Road, a similar one down in Texas. It's sort of the narrative where there's a school bus of children and the school bus gets caught on the train tracks. It can't go across. Train hits it, kills all the children.
If you put, I think, baby powder on the back of your car and put your car in neutral on the tracks, like they're supposed to like push your car over the tracks.
How do you think that across the nation a story like that with a lot of similarities happens?
Just generally speaking, I mean, I think there could have been one actual episode of this taking place somewhere across the country. And all the other ones I kind of call copycats. You know, then, oh yeah, okay, we're going to do one over here. It's the same thing.
I feel like it's probably been like dispersed through the different areas. I feel like, you know, with that story being so long ago and everything, it's probably been around, and kind of like when you play that game like phone or whatever, where like you say something, it's kind of like that. It's kind of very much how it makes me feel.
With Munger Road specifically, like it must have been born out of something, whether it be a very embellished version of what might have happened. But again, I feel like it's hard for a story like that to pick up steam and be around for so long if it wasn't born out of at least something that was, you know, true. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say we probably went out there hundreds of times. Each night that we were out there on Munger Road, something weirder happened. Trevor Morgan, who plays Corey LaFave in the movie, he was wearing a lavalier mic, and he was in the woods getting ready for his scene. And we're all wearing headsets, you know, so we could hear the dialogue. And his microphone started picking up a baby crying. And you can imagine how surprised we were and a little scared by that. Sure, everybody here is probably thinking, I cannot wait till we wrap this location and get out of here.
Well, I think a lot of what draws people out to these locations, whether it be urban legends or real haunting, is just the possibility that you're going to see or experience something. You know, we do it scientifically, but we also do it to try to have an experience ourselves.
Humans are a curious species in general, so just the fact that there is the potential of something going on that you are not aware of or you may not know about, it's the scientific curiosity in everyone, so they're trying to figure out what could it be. I think it's just the unknown.
If we have to take it a step further, we would reach out to a medium, a clairvoyant, a clairaudient, a clairsentient, somebody that can, tune into what's there and in some cases actually communicate. To have a dialogue, sometimes you have to bring in somebody like that. A lot of times psychics are very cryptic about their information. But I think that is an aspect of the paranormal that should not be overlooked.
Vanessa's been doing this forever, so.
When I tap into anything, I always preface by saying, I can't force anything. Yeah. And I think that's a big misconception too with mediums is they try to make something happen that's not necessarily there, So it's if I don't get anything, I don't get anything.
So when I was picking someone, I wanted someone that was for real, that was kind of down to earth, that was genuine, that had a passion for it. Some people are they're just here for money. They're just here to play it up. But I don't think Vanessa was. I think Vanessa truly did believe that she could contact the dead.
Feels more sad than anything. Like I said, I feel more of that guilt.
The guilt?
Yeah, there's definitely more guilt. I do feel like something did happen with the train tracks, or with the train. I don't know if the train maybe derailed, or if the car did get stuck on the train. But I do see about like 2 to 3 children, like a female and 2 males. Probably about like 6, 7 years old, 5 maybe. The little girl has like blondish hair. They don't seem malevolent though. It's almost like they just kind of are. It's almost like they don't know what happened to them. They were so young. They're still kind of stuck there. I do feel like the whole woods though in general, there's a lot going on. Yeah, I still feel like there's been occult practices here. So I feel like just all of that kind of played, like it's that residual energy that's kind of manifesting over here as well.
With the readings, do you ever get like a time frame with it, or is like a time like not really?
Sometimes I do, yeah. I would say more on like for that, 2016 is the first thing that popped into my head. And the kids, that's older. That's more like 1800s, 1900s. I don't think anything of us has been hit by that train particularly.
She's so passionate about this, and I think that's what I didn't know it, but I think that's what I really was looking for, was like passion. This person really cares about the community and cares about the story and did her research and try to create something for us, which was nice to see.
The idea that this may have happened somewhere and there could have been some brush with the paranormal, afterwards. That's absolutely could be very valid, because again, it's a tragedy. A lot of people died. They died very suddenly, very tragically. They're very young, and because of that, what happens in some cases, it's like a reenactment of the event. It's a residual haunting.
Whether it's real or not, I don't know if it's real, but if I'm assuming it's real, she contacted something. If I'm assuming it's not real, she put on a good show.
So at this point in the investigation, this is where we're going to try out Munger Road for ourselves. We're going to head over to Munger Road, go on the tracks, put it in neutral, cut the lights. We're going to go out there pretty late, and we're just going to see what we find out for ourselves.
If you want to truly prove that there are things here that are pushing you over, I would suggest washing your car completely. Go to the car wash, blast that thing, and wash all the dirt off of it. Then go back with the baby powder, powder your whole car up once it's completely clean, spotless. And then if you see handprints, okay, it may be different.
Not a whole lot out there. It's extremely dark, and it just feels different.
We've got to deal with the sheriffs, because they'll come out and they'll call the police and they'll still chase you away. If you're doing something that's kind of crazy, you're parking on a train.
Where are the tracks?
Get the fuck out of here. All right, we got it.
All right, so we just concluded kind of our investigation out there and doing it on ourselves, and we've come to the conclusion that nothing happened. Car did not move. We did not see anything with the bumper with the baby powder change of anything. So yeah, we basically conclude that we didn't experience anything benevolent, anything spiritual, or anything of that nature.
These urban legends, they get a start from somewhere, in some cases based on a true incident that happened somewhere across the world. And then everybody else just kind of copycats it, I think.
Pretty much right here where we're standing, there were 24 dead, 15 survivors. Most of those survivors were still scarred for life, either physically or mentally or both. We are doing this in assistance for a documentary about, you've heard the stories, you put baby powder on the back of your car and kids push your car. That all started because of the incident here. We're totally out of here out of respect. We're not here to talk bad about the dead. We're just here to see if maybe something lingers here, and if it does cause any precedents for those, stories and urban legends from across the United States.
I really enjoyed their video on the Salt Lake City, Utah crossing. That video was really important to me, and getting that interview with them was important to me because when we kind of cracked the code and realized, this is all leads back to the Utah incident. Knowing that they were going to go out there for us and conduct a research, try to reach out to the children there at the crossing was awesome to hear, it was awesome to watch.
If there are any spirits here from the bus accident, from the bus that got hit by the train in 1938, we'd like to communicate with you and ask you some questions.
There's a Harold here over by the tracks. Harold, do you want to come closer and talk with us?
What's that? Okay, talk to the children.
Harold, were you involved in the accident that was here? I don't think he wants to talk anymore right now. He kind of just...
Do you know anything about urban legends related to train accidents?
Said I don't.
Don't. How many people died in the bus accident? It said 24.
Yeah.
While I was asking the question, I'm almost positive it said 24.
I'm wondering, do you know anything about other accidents? Maybe bus accidents or train accidents somewhere else?
If we pulled our truck onto the train tracks right now, would you try to push it out of the way?
Getting nothing now.
There's some legends that people have said when they park their car here, it'll move by itself. Is that something one of you spirits do?
It's all just music now. All right, I'll go ahead and cut this.
Prior to Jesse reaching out, I've lived in Salt Lake for over 10 years, and I've never heard of this accident before. So it kind of set me down this trailblazing path of going to the historical museum, finding the memorial site, contacting the high school. And what I was able to discover was something that I had never heard of, even living in the exact town that it occurred.
When something that climactic happens, think of it as a bomb going off in some other country. Well, as news spreads, that energy spreads. It's everywhere. And that energy, when something like that happens, that doesn't just take place there. It takes place everywhere.
Oh, it's so popular. Everybody knows about Munger Road. I know there's the movie that's been made by like a local St. Charles resident.
You know what's hard, and I'm sure your research has shown this, what is the story? I don't think there's one conclusive, hey, this is exactly what this legend is based off of.
Right.
Does it have something to do with us? Does it have something to do with some kids? Everybody seems to have this different idea of what actually might have happened out there.
It's typically, it's like all the other little urban legend stories, but they're interesting, They each have their own little take on them. They each have their own little twist and spin.
I doubt that many people would know about that one in Utah. I mean, it's a tragedy, sure, but it's not something that would appear in a national newspaper perhaps, or on CNN or something. When it gets down into your hometown and you hear something like that, then suddenly, people start, researching it. Was there anything similar? And in some cases, it's a dead end, but other times, they'll pick up something that has a shred of evidence.
But really, I think when it comes to even just train tracks, if there is a tale of any kind of child near there, a lot of people will do that. The children will push the car all over the world, all over the United States.
It's super cool to see what's true and what's not, because You could do so much research on it, and like, you really can only find so much, unfortunately.